Okay, hi, my name is Peter Karen. I'm one of your selectmen for the town of Dayton, and I'm here today with Ralph Vitaco, who is our town administrator. And we are going to talk about the town meeting that's coming up on January, yeah, right, June 9th.
June 9th.
At 7 o'clock. It's going to be at the Dayton Rehoboth High School in their auditorium. And we're just going to go over some questions about what some of the meanings of the words that you might hear at Dayton Town meeting. It's important that you attend. The town budget, the town taxes, all determine on how the vote goes at this town meeting. So Ralph, I can start right away if you don't mind.
Yeah, no. Go ahead, Peter.
Let me just get into it. My questions are on the phone. What is the annual town meeting?
Well, the town meeting, in general, both the annual town meeting and the fall town meeting, is the town's legislative body. And as you said, it's where the town makes its major decisions, such as the budget, what bylaws we enact. Do we want to an allocation of funds, and do we want to authorize the sale of property?
Mm-hmm.
So all the major decisions are made at town meeting because the town belongs to the people of Dayton, and they have a right and they have an obligation to decide how it's run.
Right. Okay. Who can attend?
Well, that's an excellent question. Anyone can attend town meeting. And as you pointed out, I'll say it again,
Sure.
Town meeting's on June 9th
Yep.
at 7 p.m. at DR High School in the auditorium, which is at 2700 Regional Road,
Yep.
North Dayton. Anyone can attend, but only registered voters
Mm-hmm.
of the town of Dayton can vote at town meeting.
I've been to previous town meetings, and I noticed there's always a section for guests who
Right.
have
Or non-voters, right.
non-voters.
Right.
They have the right to talk if they're acknowledged by the moderator, or
Right. Typically, the moderator can acknowledge non-voters to speak. Sometimes the moderator puts that to a vote to town meeting if the legislative body wants to hear people who are not voters. But typically, it's up until the discretion of the moderator
Okay.
to decide who speaks.
and what is a moderator?
Okay. Well, the moderator, in its simplest form, is the guy who runs the show,
Okay.
or the person who runs
Yeah.
the show, right? So the moderator keeps track of the warrant, the articles. He makes sure motions are said. He makes sure motions are seconded, and really, right? Town meeting is the purest form of democracy because it gives everyone the opportunity to get up and to speak to each article, and that's what the moderator does. He sort of ensures that people stay on topic, that they're what they say is germane to the point, and sort of keep it civil.
Okay.
So that is really the primary role of the moderator, is to keep the meeting moving along.
Sure. I noticed there are a lot of other people on the stage.
There are.
And are they all town officials? Are they just people who answer questions? What is it?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. They won a lottery ticket. No, no. So as you look at the stage from the audience, on the left-hand side, you usually see the finance committee.
Yeah.
Then moving across from left to right, there will be the town accountant.
Yes.
There will be myself, and then the board of selectmen.
Okay.
And at the end, there will be a town council. Now, usually we're all there available to answer questions. The primary role of both the FinCom and the Board of Selectmen would be to read the motions.
Okay.
So again, town council is there in case there are any legal questions associated with any of the motions. They are there to provide guidance
Okay.
to the moderator.
Sure. Everyone probably has received the town warrant
Yes.
in the mail.
Yeah.
Can you explain for a second what the town warrant actually is?
Right. Yeah. So The warrant is sort of the roadmap to town meeting. So it spells out all the articles which will be presented at town meeting. And I know your next question, what is an article, right?
Well, that is my next question.
Yeah.
You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
And to the layman, it makes no sense as
Right.
to an article that they read in the
Absolute-
newspaper.
Yeah. No, I get it. Sometimes I get article and warrant confused, but the warrant, again, the warrant is the roadmap.
Yep.
The warrant contains the articles. And the articles, in the simplest way to explain it, is it's the ask, right? It is the question. It is the formal request to the voters of the town of Dayton to make a decision on something. So, some of the articles that you see, right, the beginning articles have to do with the budget.
Yes.
Then, as you go through it, so we're asking the voters to approve the budget that's been presented. And then as you go through it, you talk about the Community Preservation Act and zoning articles. We want to change zoning and things like that. But in its simplest form, the article is the ask. It's the request to the
Okay.
voters
Sure.
to make a decision.
And how do they vote? I've heard things like a majority vote,
Yeah.
a 2/3 vote, you raise your hand, a silent vote, a vote done by
Right,
by
ballot.
ballot.
Yeah, yeah. So the vote, whether it's a majority vote or 2/3 vote, that is all determined by law.
Okay.
So for the most part, major anything where you want to increase the levy limit, it requires a 2/3 vote. And what do I mean by that? Increasing the levy limit. If you want to do a Proposition 2.5 override, or if you want to do a debt exclusion, or you want to move money from a stabilization fund, those are special things which really affect the taxpayers' tax rate.
Sure.
So we want to make sure a preponderance of the voters are in agreement with it. So that's 2/3. Similarly, most of your zoning changes require 2/3, because that, like money, which affects your pocketbook, zoning affects your home and what's surrounding your home. So those articles typically require 2/3 vote.
Okay.
Yeah, with the exception of affordable housing, which just recently changed, which is a majority vote. All the other votes would require a majority vote. Most votes, and this again is at the discretion of the moderator, and it could be a request from the audience, but most votes are voice vote. And so the moderator will make a determination if, by listening, how the vote passes. If someone does not agree with the moderator, there's a certain number of people who have to stand up and request a hand count.
Okay.
So then
That's when people raise their
that's
hand,
when
have to
people
keep
ra-
them up
Then
while
people
the-
raise
Right.
their hands, and then again, there are certain circumstances where a member of the legislative body, town meeting, can request a ballot vote.
Sure. Okay.
So
I
and
understand.
again, those those are not at the discretion, but through the town moderator.
Okay. So we know what an article is.
Yeah.
And what is the most significant article on this, or is there one
Yeah.
on this year's warrant?
So, right. So always, it's like asking who's your favorite child.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So they're all significant.
Yeah.
But right. So so obviously the most important article, as with every town meeting, is the budget. So the budget article, it's right up front. So that article is the most important, because that really dictates how the town goes through the next fiscal year.
Okay.
And again, we're looking at a $28 million budget.
Right.
$28.1 million. But in association with that, as we discussed at our last talk, Article 18 is the enterprise fund. That that will be a significant article. It creates another funding source, and if it passes, it will have a direct effect on our budget and how we do budgeting going forward. After that, there's the Article 19, which is the voter information article, which in this Mass General law, allows a town, if it's accepted, like if a vote were to come up, say for a debt exclusion or something which affects the tax levy, similar to what happens at the state level, the town would have to review it, explain to the voter what a yes vote means, what a no vote means, and then we mail that out to each registered household in the town, so people are more informed.
Okay.
With that, if that passes, Article 20 would fund that, and then Article 21 is the HEROES Act.
Right.
And that's, again, that's pretty significant
Sure.
for our veterans.
Right.
And we're seeking an exemption of 100% exemption to sort of help our veterans on give them some tax relief. And then always from having a planning background, zoning articles are always significant to me. But the one that's the most significant out of the 4 that we have is Article 23. We're amending the accessory dwelling unit bylaw. So, and that's as a result of, there was a change at the state level through the Affordable Homes Act, which makes ADUs, accessory dwelling units, which makes them by right.
Okay.
So meaning that if you have enough land and you want to put a second an accessory dwelling on your unit for whatever reason, so it would be by right and would have to go through the building department.
Right.
So as opposed to getting a special permit from
from the zoning
planning.
board.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. If somebody doesn't agree with the outcome, is there recourse, or it's just
Well,
of a vote, I guess?
yeah. So it's generally speaking, right? So that's you vote and the vote stands. There is, and again, this falls on the moderator. If during the meeting a vote is taken, and then someone who can prove that they're on the winning side of the vote could ask for reconsideration.
Okay.
So, and then the moderator would have to sort of get some, to the best of their ability, say, okay, this person was on the winning side. That vote would go, does the town wish to reconsider? And then the vote would be reconsidered.
Reconsidered.
Right.
And how does the word get out that if I can't attend the meeting, how am I going to find out what the votes were for the warrant and the articles?
Right. So you would go on the town clerk's
Okay.
website, and the town clerk posts that. And I think at our selectmen's meeting, that would be a part of my town administrator report.
Okay.
I sort of give everybody a quick rundown
Sure.
of the way the votes went.
Okay.
Especially the significant votes that
Right.
that we're looking at.
Okay. Great. Just to make it clear, there is no article that says about 2.5 override or a debt exclusion.
There is no
So
2.5
people don't
override.
have to worry
There is
that-
no debt exclusion.
Okay.
There's no debt exclusion article, but Article 19, and it's good to have that in our back
Yep.
pocket. It doesn't mean we're going to be proposing these in the future. It just means that we have, as a town, as town government, have the ability to give more information to the voter, because that's what we want. We want
Sure.
a more informed voter. And that's why we're doing this,
Right.
right?
Yes.
So to make people more informed, so they understand their vote.
Okay.
And
All right.
That's why we're doing it.
One more quick question.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that we have a $28 million budget.
Yes.
And who decided that we have a $28 million budget to vote on? Where did
Right.
those numbers come from?
Right. So that's part of the budget process. So the $28 million is based on what we, what we bring in our tax levy, but I, as the town manager and the financial team we have here in Dayton, we put together that budget based on the needs of the town.
Okay.
And then we do that in collaboration with the finance committee and the board of selectmen.
Okay.
So none of this budgeting is done in a bubble. No one person is responsible for it, which is good because it's a lot of money and it directs the future of the town and what services we provide to the people of Dayton.
Okay.
So we have a lot of input.
Sure.
And that's how we move it forward.
Okay. Once again, the town meeting is June 9th. It is at 7 o'clock at the Dayton Rehoboth High School in their auditorium. And please, if you have the chance to come, it's going to be filmed on Channel 9. So you'll get to see exactly what happens. Hopefully we answered some of the questions for you with this public service announcement. And as always, if you have questions, one of the public service announcements will be to answer your questions. Please send them in to what will be on the screen, this address for the town website. And anything else, Ralph?
No, and I think it is important that people go to town meeting. It is the purest
Right.
form of democracy that we have, and it's great that New England still does that. So I'm always fascinated by it, and it's just a great process that we have.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right.